What's up guys, David here, and we're going to break this video down into two parts. This is the final vlog until after E3. The first bulk of this video is going to be talking about what's going on the main channel, and then the last few minutes will be kind of what's going on personally. If you want to skip that, if you watch the last two vlogs, you kind of got a good idea of what the fuck's going on. So, first things first, events. E3 is a big fucking deal for the main channel. We're going to be doing two videos. The first one, a predictions video, which will go up sometime this week, probably near the end of the week. The second video will be more of the in-depth analysis for all the fucking press conferences. Obviously, you can search what all is going to be there. There's plenty of articles out there for, what's rumored to be at fucking E3 as well. The prediction video will be just the core three. The big analysis video might have guests, it might not. It's going to be more of like last year's live stream that we did that went on for an absurdly long time, like 3.5+ hours. It's definitely not going to be that fucking long, God no. It's probably going to be about an hour-long video where we fucking sit around and bullshit about all the different conferences and shit. If it's just the core three, it's just the core three. If there's guests, there's guests. That's kind of how I'm looking at it right now. I'm going to be putting some feelers out there for former contributors and a few friends that have been in the other videos before. And just be like, hey, do you want to be on it this year or not, kind of thing. Manga-wise, we just filmed yesterday. The Chainsaw Man will probably go up sometime this morning. And then Iron Man either tomorrow or today sometime or tomorrow. And then we'll talk more about the Marvel stuff later. But Chainsaw Man, we kind of had this realization on it. And we kind of gave you guys the choice of the fate of the series, basically, if we want to continue doing it weekly, or if we want to continue or do something different where we like bulk all the fucking action chapters together before a big meaty fucking plot chapter, make one video, and then release the big meaty plot chapter later that day. And then the bulk chapters thing will have like timestamps for various chapters, so you can skip to whatever you want to listen to in the description of the video. It's kind of like the opposite of we have for the Promised Neverland, which we'll be kind of revisiting in an analysis / rant video, because right now it's got this great potential to do something miraculous with what's going on right now, and it's liquor shitting the bed. You have a room that basically been space and time, allegedly, considering we have aged up looking Ray and we have kind of a aged down baby Emma. It's a very bizarre thing that's going on, really. You could kind of dive into lore and go back in time to when the Promise was forged and kind of get a feel for that, really, and a full capacity. You could go back to when, since we're using the Gracefield house as kind of the caveat or the catalyst for this in a way. You got the old rooms kind of thing going on. You could go into, like, say when Isabel was a fucking kid and kind of get a little bit more of her backstory. But no, you're using it to fucking chibi and fucking babyfy Emma and turn Ray into this fucking amalgamation between Nathan Drake and Rick Grimes. It's blech. So we're gonna be talking about that. It's so fucking weird how that series has changed, so we're going to be talking a lot about that, and then leaving it to fuck off until near the end of the fucking series, probably, unless there's another rage moment like this. That'll be sometime either in this week or next week that we do a fucking chapter breakdown of that, and it'll be titled rants, basically, so you know what the fuck you're getting into. Next manga that we're going to be talking about will be Samurai 8. Samurai 8, we're going to be doing what we kind of did with Chainsaw Man with the first few chapters. We do like a why you should be reading series, and then we're going to start doing this with every series we add to the channel. With that, we're going to probably do it around chapter 10. That's my cutoff point. Like, I want to have it up by chapter 10. It might be next week. It will more than likely be by chapter 10. That gives everybody a chance to read it and get a feel for the characters, be like, okay, this is what's going on, and then start with chapter 11 as the discussions. When we bring Black Clover back, we'll do the same thing, like why you should be reading, even though we've touched on it before, just kind of why you should be reading that kind of video. If we do Jujutsu Kaisen, we'll do the same thing with that. Because that seems to be a more natural way to introduce a series to a channel than just randomly dropping a fucking chapter discussion, you know? MCU rundown time. So we have Iron Man 1 filmed today sometime, probably around when I get up. And then Fred's up at that time. We'll be doing the Incredible Hulk video, lining into Iron Man 2 for the next one, breaking down the entire Phase 1. Hopefully have Phase 1 done by the end of the month, early next month. Phase 2 right after that. We'll throw Spider-Man Far From Home in there. Phase 3 will be a little bit awkward because we've kind of already, and I think it was podcast number 27, talked about Infinity War. So I could be a lazy fuck and go back into that podcast and cut that shit out and then just upload that as its own video. But I'm not going to do that, obviously. I'm not that fucking cheap. We'll revisit that shit. Kind of do a breakdown of it as well. And everything that I mean, I think in one of the early ones we talked about fucking Black Panther even. But I digress. I think that was around E3 that the same year of fucking Infinity War came out. But like I said, I digress. We'll talk about Infinity War. We'll end the rundown of what's already out with Captain Marvel, because we've already talked about Endgame in a separate video. And what we'll do is we'll make a playlist in chronological order of every fucking movie, so you can go or chronological release order. We're not going to fucking do the timeline shit where it's all split all over the fucking place. We're going to do in like release order, like, okay, this is everything that has been out so far, and then obviously fucking Far From Home will fucking stay out of that playlist, and Endgame will stay out of that playlist until we reach that part in that far in the actual like fucking the release schedule, basically. And anytime after, you know, Far From Home that we go and see a Marvel movie, we'll add it to that playlist as well. So, moving forward into animation stuff. We're going to be adding Camp to the fucking channel. I'll be this weekend. The goal is, well, I should introduce it first. It's basically a Saturday morning filthy mouthed cartoon. It's very, very absurd. It gives the RT personnel a way to be themselves and while being a character. So you got Michael playing himself as Max, David playing himself as, or Miles playing himself as David. You got fucking Lindsay playing herself as Space Kid. You got Ryan kind of playing himself as Jen's two gay dads, and Jen's playing fucking Arid. You got Dante Bosco playing a character in there. You know him probably better as Prince Zuko, or if you're old like me, Rufio. You got Yuri Lowenthal playing a character in there as well. You probably know him better as Sasuke or Spider-Man from the recent video game. But it gives these guys and gals a fucking chance to play themselves and while being a character. And honestly, I wish I would have picked it up a lot sooner. So we'll be doing a video on seasons 1 through 3 and the first episode of season 4, hopefully Saturday, and then doing on Sunday a video on 4.2. If not, we'll be doing everything from 1 to 4.2 all in one video this weekend, and then a weekly release for a video after that. The goal is to kind of get it to lay into fucking this sweet spot when Ruby returns, but it's unlikely that it will happen because it looks like, just judging by release history, they end the main season of Camp around August or September, and Ruby comes back around October, November. But there's always one special for Halloween since season 2, and then leads right basically into fucking Ruby. And then there's always a holiday special, so we'll be doing that. Once Ruby comes back, we'll be bringing it back for Volume 7. We'll be doing a little bit on fucking Genlock, finishing off the Season 1 video that we series that we did. What went wrong, what needs to be improved on, why it's kind of absurd for them to fucking submit themselves for awards when the entire plot was Baby's first fanfic of what makes mech good. And mixing all the different fucking series that they've poached stuff from didn't make a coherent real plot. And also the voice acting from pretty much every A-lister that they hired was more phoned in, aside from Mossy Williams, who apparently found a lot of enjoyment out of being a filthy mouth cockney. So that was really fun to watch her fucking go from a murdering Arya Stark to fucking that. So yeah, she was really filthy in Game of Thrones. Just violent. But yeah, it was fucking really weird seeing that. But Michael B. Jordan being their poster boy just didn't seem to really care for his delivery of his lines, and it's a mess. So if we revisit it for season 2, we'll kind of dive into the first couple episodes and be like, okay, this is where we're going to judge it. If it's not good, we're not going to fucking continue picking it up, because we don't want to turn it into another Promised Neverland where we're just talking about something we fucking hate. Um, it, we want to be better than that, really. Revisiting content. Podcasts will be coming back hopefully sometime in July. I'm shooting for the first week, and then doing it bi-weekly thereafter. So the first and third of every fucking month, first and third week of every fucking month, we'll be doing it. So like I said, first and third week. That gives, and you know what that's going to mean, right? The second and fourth week are going to be archive weeks where we upload the archive to the fucking main channel. Basically an edited version where we take out all the dead zones kind of thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to stream and record. So we have that archive. The recorded version, we'll slap in Adobe, do what we need to do. Fucking how we're going to format it this time, it's likely going to be a video game backdrop with us talking. Kind of, I guess, the best way to put it is like Gaming Illuminati style podcast. And just talk about that, whatever our topics are. There's obviously just chatting, I think it's called, demographic on Twitch, but it really doesn't work well for more than one person or a group of people, and since most of us are throughout the fucking country, it really doesn't work well for us. So that's why we're going to choose like the video game backdrop instead of just awkwardly me hosting a Skype or Discord call like this. So yeah. Other content that we're going to be revisiting, Chaos Battle, is around the same time as when I'm shooting for all this stuff to be back. So like the second week we'll have a fucking Chaos Battle, to fucking fill in there. The fourth week have like a Know My Things Better. With the Know My Things Better and the Chaos Battle, the comments are kind of going to dictate a lot of stuff, because I want to open things up to the community. So if you want particular people to face off, kind of like epic rap battles of history, like slap up your fucking fantasy warfare, basically. For the Know My Things Better, just drop series you want to see discussed, and if one of us knows it well enough, we'll do it. I'll be reffing the Chaos Battle again, and then that gives me a chance to scream into the mic like a madman, which is always fun. Not for my throat, but for me. And kind of, I guess that's really it. Like the filler content will be continuing. We'll be doing more Netflix and Hulu, Amazon exclusive shows. We'll be doing one on Good Omens sometime in the near future. Red's already finished it. I'm going to be starting episode 2 tomorrow and probably binge the rest of that fucking shit. It's a very good show so far. So yeah. So here we go. 13:35. You can skip everything else from here if you want. Personal side of things, like the last 2 vlogs, I kind of dove into, a bit of a first-hand experience for my life, which is something I never really wanted to do for content. I kind of wanted to do it though because it gave you a chance to know what the fuck is going on. So it also kind of gave you a reason to know where the fuck I'd be going if anything went wrong. So in the first vlog, I kind of broke down what's been going on. The no sleep, well, not no sleep, but like an hour burst kind of thing. And then fucking struggling to fall back asleep, and then being woke up in an hour. And I kind of talked about having night terrors. I think there's 3 people on the planet that know the actual, aside from the social worker that I showed the dream to, like what that dream entails, and I'd like to keep it that way. But what I did is, after filming that first vlog, I mentioned like if I didn't get better, I was going to like check myself into a psychiatric facility to kind of get some help, because I wasn't feeling right at all. I was so short-tempered. I was taking everything out on everybody around me. So I didn't really want to continue that path. So the second vlog, I kind of detailed what I found out. They diagnosed it as like a form of PTSD that's triggering with sleep terrors or night terrors, and they're like, well, what's the dream? And then I went into my text messages with one of my friends that knows what the fuck the dream entailed, because I texted them right after I woke up with it. Took everything that wasn't relevant, including their name, screen capped that, cropped it all out like that, and just like, here, this was fresh from when I had that fucking dream. And they're like, yeah, that's a form of PTSD that's causing that kind of a dream. And they broke down, like, here's, what all can cause PTSD, commonly. If any of these things happen to you, I'm like, well, yeah, I was assaulted at work. They were like, okay, so did it start after the assault, or was it, when you kind of returned to work? I'm like, yeah, it was when I returned to this job that I just recently lost. I'm like, this is, what I'm working around. This is the kind of people I was surrounded by. There was two very, very differing demographics there. One constantly treating the other like shit, and then the other one, not being able to really do anything about it. I really don't want to break down too much about that, because it's not really relevant to this. The one was a more violent demographic because of where they came from. Fucking the other one was just trying to make ends meet. If you want to know more, reach out to me. I'll fucking talk more about it. If you're in the Discord server, you kind of know more. And obviously my friends know a lot more about what was going on behind the doors, but it was a shitty situation for both. Both demographics definitely deserve to be there. They definitely deserve their chances there. It's just the way things were handled was shit. And having people that can't be around other people in any situation sucks, basically. So they're like, well, is it because you didn't feel safe around the one demographic? I'm like, absolutely, that's probably what's going on, considering they're talking about, because I'll break down, like, most of them were work release people, fresh out of jail or prison. They kind of were just bragging about still carrying on their crime. I'm like, okay, so you're not going to fucking change. And they're bragging about beating the fuck out of people still, and for drug money and everything. And I'm like, great, I'm around this. I'm like, yeah, I'm not really safe here, potentially. If one of these fuckers is tweaking, or they just wig out, if I say something wrong, I could end up in front of a high-low, or I could end up shanked with a fucking putty knife, or I could fucking be thrown into a baler and turned into a cube of boxes, basically. So I guess that's how my mind was seeing it. The doctor's like, well, it's good you got out of there, but now we gotta figure out why you're still having the fucking dream. I'm like, well, I don't fucking know. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a fucking therapist. Don't have the fucking degree for this shit. I don't even know how my own mind works half the fucking time. And couple that with the corruption that was going on there, it wasn't a great place for somebody that's more like me to be there. Fucking, I hated everything that went on in that place. I really did. But I grinned and bared it for the month and a half I was there. And strangely enough, that's how long that's been going on. So yeah, you put two and two together, it kind of makes sense, really. But I digress. So they gave me the information to get in contact with this this therapist, and be like, hey, you can reach out here. You can also, potentially get a new primary care doctor closer to home, so you're not traveling halfway across the fucking state for that. Which is kind of good. Fucking deal with that. But now you gotta deal with the side of America's insurance system, and wait for me to be approved for so many fucking sessions with this therapist, and kind of go from there. But the point being is, getting to that stage gave me enough of a peace of mind for at least last night to get at least 7 hours worth of straight sleep. So that's a good thing. This came out of this shitty situation. I'm dealing with, now potentially getting into the therapy, getting in there with a few sessions. Hope to work through, like, what all's gone down. If it's more of, and like I've shared fucking various pieces of my life before, so I'll break that down in a bit. But like, getting into that phase, like, it really didn't bother me. It gave me that peace of mind, like, okay, I'm not fucking crazy. Well, I'm kind of crazy, but I'm not fucking crazy, So that's a good thing. But what's really, really sucks is now having to fucking wait. So, and like I said, I never really wanted to give a first-hand experience, but for everything that I was saying in that first vlog, I wanted to, at least let people know where the fuck I was at. I haven't dropped off the face of the earth. I haven't just abandoned the channel again, or whatever you want to call it. I want to give, everything that's going on, and the entire community that we've started to build on the main channel, like, that little bit of a heads up. But like I said, I've shared parts of my life before. If the gags of, like, fucking having the condom bowl, Mike type from fucking the Life is Strange playthrough, the fucking, like, a lot of kinks from various fucking, chapter discussions, where my life path was going when I was younger from the Vic Mignogna video, bits and pieces of my childhood from early podcasts. So it's not like I'm not open to sharing my life in any way. Like, in the fucking unlisted video from where I was dropping the Azazel character and taking time off from the channel, I broke down a lot more shit. There's a lot that I've shared. It's just, I never really thought I'd be sharing as it breaks down, really. So, I really appreciate all the comments on Discord, and, everybody that was concerned about everything in the comment section of those videos. I really do. I never, like I said, I never really wanted to share firsthand, but I wanted to be transparent because I didn't want it to seem like I abandoned everything again if I were to have actually checked myself into a psychiatric facility. And, mental health needs to take precedence for everybody. It's not anything to be ashamed of. It's not anything to let be stigmatized in this fucking day and age. If you're not okay, you're not okay, and it's definitely okay to not be okay. So until next time, guys, peace.